welcome along and welcome back to Purbeck Valley. We are dealing with the cows today, actually. They have no food. They are in need of feeding. Our sunflowers aren't quite ready yet, so we can't do those. Let's just hop across the road here and I can show you. But they're looking very healthy and bright. But we are still probably a month or so away from being able to harvest them. So those are still growing. As a result, yeah, we need to do some work with our cows. We actually strangely need to weed our grass fields as well. Our grass fields at the moment have, are counted as not having been weeded, and it's causing a problem with our environmental scores. So we are going to go and just throw the weeder over it. I don't think it'll make any difference whatsoever, but it should increase the environmental scores. So we're going to have a go with that this morning. The silage we've got, that has yet to ferment, so we'll be using the older silage bales to sort the cows out. It's going to take about 4 or 5 loads from this in order to get it done, but we should do it fairly easily. We've done it several times before. Oh, there's one other thing we do need to get started this morning. Look at the state of our solar panels. These absolutely need a clean, so we will get that going as well, and get them generating the full level of power that they should, rather than the current level that is causing them issues. Right, we want 2 of these, so 1, 2, 1 or 2 of the hay, and then we'll have a good mix going again. So we'll spike the N2 here. Up we go, and this is 7,000 liters. So yeah, we want the smaller amount in there to start with. Put that on the wall. Making sure we don't hit the wall with the tractor or the bale actually can be a little bit of a challenge sometimes, but we have got that there. And we put in the smaller amount first because the hay will mix in as a larger amount, and it kind of ends up evening out as a result. And it means that we end up with 16,000 liters rather than the 11,000 liters that this holds. So put those 2 in there. Those will mix in, and then we want to grab 2 of these. I think if we grab from the right hand side first, we'll be able to grab 2 off the top of the stack, and then we'll have an easier time of getting the other 2 out from the top stack afterwards. Although we do actually have a single one to put in at some point. So that in there like so, and off. That fills that up. We will turn on the mixer so it properly mixes everything up, and then back in with another 12,000 liters. So we got basically 4,000 liters extra. But if I turn this on here, you'll see how our green lines move as the whole thing mixes. It just stays at 11,900 the whole way until those extra bales have been consumed. And as long as everything stays within those green lines, we're good. And it does. It goes to nearly a 60-40 mix, but it's still well within parameters for the TMR. And works so well for getting extra feed in here on the cows. It's an absolutely fantastic method of doing it with this Kuhn night mixer. Glad I left myself enough space to get down the side here. Cop out, although not so much space to get out the tractor. Let's unwrap that one. Oh, how did I unwrap the one all the way back there? Thankfully, we've got to do those as well. So, oh my lord, that is unwrapping the weirdest bales. But we're good. We shouldn't need to unwrap any bales for a while. Yeah, downside of getting this right by the wall, but we're Fantastic for getting those out. And we'll get these loaded up. Now, I think 7,000 plus 4,500, which is, I think is what we got in the hay bale. So we're going to do a single hay bale with this one. That way, we'll still have a good mix, I think. And it will only fill up the trailer. It'll slightly underfill our mixing wagon. But it also cleans up this extra rogue bale that we have. Pack that out. Yeah, 4,500 litres. This should take us up to 11,500 litres in here. Just under a full one. So drop that off. And in we go with it. Yeah, there we go. 96% with a 2-to-1 mix ratio. Open it up and away we go. And that is, yeah, that is still TMR, which is good. So making sure that mix is where it should be is great. And we are doing well. In fact, I don't think we're going to have much more of this to spread in here before our cows are full. How much more do our cows need? Maybe 1 or 2 more. I think they're pretty good. Health's coming back up. So once they ran out of food, their health dropped quite badly. But getting the food back in is making a difference already, which is very good news. I think we might have 1 or 2 more loads to do here. And that will then give us an opportunity to move on and start looking at the grass fields. Trailer is refilled again and back in another 11,900 litres. I think we're going to end up with maybe only needing a 2 bale mix here to finish this off. I might just stick only 2 bales in to try and finish things off. I don't think it's going to be much at all that is needed in here. And in that case, that's going to be really annoying because, of course, we've just put a single hay bale in. I might keep everything going by doing a full trailer's worth of mix then and seeing where we are. No, in fact, we don't need to. We got a full pen there with 3,120 litres left in our mixing trailer. So let's turn the mixer off. We can back straight out and put this away. And yeah, that's really good. We have got our cows nicely fed. They'll get producing some milk again. How much milk do we have? 6,602 litres. So looks like we'll have some more milk to sell just before we start on the harvest, before we start on the sunflowers. Oh, I cannot get this to reverse straight. Let's come all the way out, back it up, and get it into position properly. There we go. And this means that at the end of the day, actually, we can just come in here, top things up a little bit, and it will all be good. So keep those cows happy. Really, I should probably start my day each time just feeding the cows and getting that sorted, because the happy cows are milk producing cows, which is a lot more income. And now look, the cleaner has done its job as well, and we got nice clean solar panels. I really would like to put another set of these in. They do great work for us, especially with how much we're having to lease all the time. And so having another set of those, I think, would be a really good thing to do. I want to get this tracked out the way, because we're probably going to try and put some more slurry down today as well. So we don't want anything in the way of us doing that. First, we're going to go and get the weeder. We're going to run it over the grass, and we're going to see if that makes any difference at all to our environmental score. Currently, our environmental score is 92. We know we've weeded both of our main fields, so it can only be these two here that the weed control is the only thing that's down, and it's got to be 67 and 68. So we'll go run the weeder over those two fields. They've never been weeded, and I think that might solve the problem. The alternative would be to get some herbicide and spray those fields instead, but we don't have a sprayer. It would cost us money, and we're not going to use the herbicides. So yeah, we'll try it with the weeder. We'll see if that works. If it doesn't, then we'll have to get something to spray it. Now, where is the weeder? Oh, I don't think we own a weeder either. We might need to go and hire a very cheap weeder and just run it over those fields. So it's as good a time as any then to check out what's in the shop as well. Break there. I don't think there's anything of particular use to us. The Crystal Detour, that's quite a nice tractor. 171 horsepower would be useful, but we actually have all the tractors we need. Same goes for the Volvo Globetrotter. We don't really have a use for that, although that is a really good price. The Quickie 5M is too small. The Class Header is for the wrong combine. Oh, that is really nice, but requires 200 horsepower. I think we do have... Oh, yeah, we've got 325 horsepower and 210. So we could grab that if we had the money, which we don't, and go with that. And yeah, otherwise it's just bales that are available. So yeah, we don't need any of those. So let's have a look at weeders, and we just want something we can throw over these fields quite quickly that's quite cheap. The Einbock there, 6 meters, 9,500. That is probably our cheapest option at a decent size. Oh, I don't know, actually. 9,500. 6,500 for the Gornik. That might be a better choice, I think. Yep, we're just after a cheap one to run over the field. So the puller, 600. Let's lease that. That will cost us just £331. And so we'll get that hooked up to the Vultra and get that all going. And we've got rain. Thankfully, this is a job that we can do in the rain. As I said, it's going to have little to no effect on the grass. There are no weeds in the grass. So it is just a weird side effect of the precision farming, is that it does require you, even if there isn't any weeds in the grass, to run this over. So open that up, and this is 6 meters, this little weeder, so it's not a bad little weeder at all. Yeah, you can see, wow, it is actually having an effect though, so that's good news. Let's run this over this, and hopefully we'll end up with a good setup. In fact, I think it's actually pulling out the grass. So yeah. Oh, this is a twisted tangle that we have. Maybe it's something we should be running over here as soon as we've actually finished cutting, just before we go and do the rest. Is this essentially mulching the grass then? I'm wondering, because I have no idea what effect that is having on this at all. Well, this is definitely having some sort of effect. I am not sure exactly what that is. With 12 meters to turn around, we should have plenty of space to do that now. It is taking the grass back a stage. I have a feeling actually that we cut the grass a little bit early, so this might be pretty perfect for what we're trying to do. It'll get us back on target. And I think actually that's why we ended up with a couple less bales when we cut the silage. Because we cut early, we got less bales out of it. However, interesting thing about that is that tells me that it's much better to cut early and get a 4th cut out every year than to wait for the full growth and get 25. We only lose per cut 2-3 bales, if that is true, and that is more than made up for by the extra cut. But we get 22 bales instead of 25. So we get 22 bales instead of 25, and that means that we would have, off 4 cuts, we'd get 88 bales, as opposed to off 3 cuts, where we'd get 75. So that is actually a really good reason to try for 4 cuts. I am going to have to experiment with that a bit more, but I think that would suggest the best way to maximize your profits with grass is to try and do 4 cuts and cut it as soon as it's ready to cut. I think this is the difference between using a sprayer with herbicide and using the weeder. The weeder does actually take out the grass, and the state on it is to push it back to an earlier stage of growth, which is fine. I'm not too worried about that at all. That works. That actually works for me. Otherwise, we'd be ready to cut again the next cut of silage next month, and I'm not really wanting to do that when we've got the sunflowers going to be about ready. It looks like the grass is would have been ready again before the sunflowers, which is a little bit crazy. Now, what does it do with our environmental score? We're still sitting at 92. I think the environmental score doesn't change until we cut it. So, yeah, we're going to have to cut the grass and the sunflowers in order for this to make a difference. I'm really hoping it does, though, because otherwise we've just set our grass back a growth stage without much reason for doing it. But this is an interesting experiment. We'll see what happens and see if it is actually worth doing this in future. See whether it's worth doing this with precision farming instead of rolling the grass. That would be very interesting. I can't believe that we've just cleaned the solar panels and now the generation of power from them is going to be so reduced by the rain. That is incredibly annoying. But at least they're clean, and they will generate power once the sun comes back out. We are doing our second round of the field, just squared off that bottom corner, just to make things easier on us overall. But I find it intriguing, the effect this weeder is having. I'm really hoping it is having the desired effect. It seems to be trying to apply a level of fertilizer, but of course that won't work as precision farming is running, and we're going to do it with the slurry once the rain stops. As soon as the rain stops, we'll be able to get on here with the slurry spreader and go around these fields as well. So we'll get that done today too. It's a very interesting and slightly unknown situation with what we're doing here. It looks to be killing the grass, but at the same time, it looks to be fertilizing it. It might be increasing our environmental score. It might not. Yeah. Oh, one thing I can say, and you might have seen it just then, is this does clean up any stray grass we have on the field, which means that we end up with some nice clean fields. I know a few people have wanted me to end up with a cleaner setup afterwards and not have any grass hanging around. Well, running this over is doing exactly that. Things are beginning to brighten up now. The sun is beginning to break through the clouds. The rain is stopping, and we should be able to get this finished. And then we can get out here with the slurry spreader and get the nitrogen levels back up on these fields. I don't think there's a particular problem with the nitrogen levels on here. Certainly it's not being flagged by our environmental score tool. That's quite happy. Oh, wow. What we do need to do is rescan these fields. Look at that. Massively out of date information across both of them. So yeah, we need to go and do that. We've got to get the field scanner out, get these rescanned. We've been cutting the grass so much. Our data is incredibly out of date, and both of our grass fields need rescanning. This really is a great experiment I'm doing with the grass now. Getting it weeded like this, seeing if this has an effect, seeing if this helps the field at all. We've no idea if this will make any difference to the nitrogen levels. Ideally, it's almost like mulching or even plowing in a cover crop. This, so I would hope it would have some effect on the nitrogen levels, maybe help increase them a little bit, but I don't know. It's definitely got that look about it. But at the same time, it's not actually showing or trying to show the nitrogen levels on the map. So it might not be. I honestly don't know at this point. It very much, though, could increase our environmental score. And that is the point of what we're doing. If we can get that done and get that sorted, then that will be perfect. We will get the scanner out here, though, in a moment. We'll go and lease that. I don't think we have one sitting around the farm. It's been 2 years since we scanned all our fields originally, so there hasn't been a need to have it hanging around, and it would just be something costing us money if we did. I will double check, though, because heck, I've done sillier things than have something hanging around for 2 years like that. And we want to go and return this weeder anyway. But yeah, that is both of our grass fields done. All scanned. All weeded. Now we need to get them all scanned. And then hopefully after that, we can get some more nitrogen down on it as well. So let's return the weeder. There we go. That's gone. And then we want to get ourselves a scanner. So that's under miscellaneous. There we go. Azaria Scout. So pick that up. Oh, do we have one? No, we don't. We definitely don't. So to lease that is going to cost us 867. That's still less than getting charged to do everything. And then back it up. And we'll just use the Vulture for this. It'll work fine. It'll be fairly quick. Won't be many scans because it'll just be the single fields. And then we'll get up-to-date data on our grass fields. And again, that should improve our environmental score. That might be part of what the problem was. Although I don't see how that would really affect the weeding situation. Oh, 4 scans should do this field. So turn it on, take a scan, and we'll just go round. Yeah, four corners is all we need. Part of me wonders if I could get it done in fewer, but I don't know, actually. I think I might. Look at that. That will encompass the whole top end of this field. I mean, we only have to take 3 scans to get this grass field done. So same thing again on the second field. We'll try and get as much of it as possible encompassed in our first scan. This one is going to take 4 scans, but that's absolutely fine. So start that. We've got a great demand at the Fisherman. And if there was an improvement for FS25 that I'd really like to see, it's please can I find out with ease exactly where my great demand is and what it's for, because at the moment you have to go through like this, try and find out what the great demand is for, and it takes forever. I mean, I love the time-saving stock check, which immediately tells me if anything I've got is in that great demand, and it isn't. But yeah, base game, it's very difficult to tell where a great demand is, what it's for, especially as we get more and more crops in the game. It just becomes harder and harder to work out exactly where I should be selling stuff. But it doesn't seem to be anything we have on here at the moment, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, 7 scans in total this is going to take to get both of these fields rescanned, and that will give us a nice accurate result for our nitrogen levels that we need to do. And if we're lucky, we won't actually need to put any slurry down this time. Right, that's got all of them done. Let's send that off. So send the soils for analysis. Yep, that's going to cost us 700. Going to fold this down. Oh, wow. And it's already analyzed. We kind of knew what it was already, but look at that. Look at that speckled setup for that. That looks like it has had some effect, that weeder, which is a little bit weird. We do have a few places that have 0. We have lots of stuff that's, yeah, under 40 kilograms. So we need to even that out a bit. But yeah, that's really good. Let's go and get rid of this. We'll go return this scanner, and we'll get the slurry spreader out on here and start spreading some slurry. I originally didn't think I was going to have a huge amount to do today. I saw that the sunflowers weren't ready and kind of went, oh no, what am I going to do? What's, you know, what needs doing on the farm? Has turned out to be both really busy and really interesting. I didn't realize that we were going to have such an in-depth look at our grass care and seeing exactly what we need to do to it, that we'd have such a weird result from rescanning those fields either. So I'm now hoping that this is just going to even things out, that we're going to end up with a good level of nitrogen across both these fields. And another really good grass cut a couple of months time, because we're going to try and cut early, see if we can get, I don't know if we'll get 2 more cuts out this year, but we're certainly going to have a try. So let's turn on the spreader, and away we go. And yeah, it is putting some down and it is evening things out, so this should have the desired effect. Interestingly, in the middle of this field, it's sending it a deep green in the nitrogen. So the grass is absorbing a lot more of the slurry at this growth stage than it normally does. I'm intrigued by that. We don't normally get a deep green on the grass fields. So to have that through here, that's really good. Now, we've got 4% left. I don't think this is going to be enough to do the whole field. Not quite. We've got a patch at this end. So we'll go refill this, get that patch done, and then we can move on to the second grass field. I'm quite impressed by that. Looks like weeding the field and getting it back to this growth stage, and then doing this at this growth stage means the field is absorbing more nitrogen, and that is really interesting. I've not seen a variable rate like that before, and that could make quite a bit of difference to how we treat the grass growing forwards. And we'll close up this last little section here, and there. So yeah, look at that. There is a lot of green on this field now. So deep coloring of the nitrogen. If we look at the levels, some of that has gone up to 200. Yeah, vast majority of the center of that field is above 140 kilograms per hectare. So really interesting to see the effect everything's had. And again, we still have that mottled kind of look to the field, having weeded it. I'm intrigued as to exactly what this is doing, because that is very interesting. So expecting a similar sort of effect on this field here. I'll go around the headlands first. We used very little on the previous field. And again, it's taking it up a few levels. I think it basically puts a flat 60 kilograms per hectare on there. Although that's going up to 80 in places. So yeah, it really is raising the nitrogen levels on this field quite nicely. And it doesn't seem to be specific to any one crop that it's spreading this. It's just based on whatever soil type we have. So it's making an interesting difference to our fields here. And I think it's just going to be a boost to our grass in general, and maybe a boost to several cuts of our grass. That would be really good. It looks like it's going to take 2 tanks of slurry to get this field covered, so it's not too bad. Our slurry usage on these 2 fields tends to keep up with the production from our cows, especially now that we've had some calves. That we're producing more slurry than ever to use on our fields. And I'm hoping actually we're going to have enough to use over the winter on the sunflower fields. Yeah, even there, that's just got this deep green coming in again across here. It really does like putting sort of 60 to 80 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare on these fields. And as a result, we've got a really good level on here. I'm impressed by this. Our fields are doing well. Our grass fields, I think, are going to do better than they ever have with the new cut. And we'll see where we are, whether we do that after, as soon as it's ready to harvest, or the month after. But that, I think, has been a little bit eye-opening today. I'm a little bit surprised at the effect that seems to be having. That weeder throwing it over there was just something we were trying to do in general, and it seems to have had a really good effect on our fields. So let's back this up here, get this parked back up in its space, and disconnect that. And yeah, I think we might be done. We've not got anything around here. Our milk level is 7,075. So that means that I think next time we are probably going to be doing a milk sale before we get into harvesting the sunflowers. For now, though, I'm going to leave this here, so all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.